Hey folks, Lester here. Would you guys like to hear a real live scary story? I mean, this is true. I am not making up a word of this. I forgot how they do the Scouts honor, but I will say that I'm not making any of this up. And my mom always taught us to never say, "I swear to God." She said that God doesn't want you to use his name that way. So instead, we found a this is funny. So instead, my mom found a word out of the Bible, yay. I don't know why the word yay was the word she chose. But instead of saying, "I swear to God," she taught us kids to say, yay. I'm not making this up. Word. Whatever. Okay. Long story short, I'm going to tell you a true life scary story. Hear me out. This is true. This is the view that I have from my front porch. And you guys who have followed this page for a while, you know that this has not always been the way it has looked around here. But that's important to know because we have made a lot of landscape changes in just a matter of 3 or 4 years. But imagine how much the land can change over the course of 150 years. All right, so you have to have a little bit of a history lesson first. I'm sorry, but I'll go really fast. There is a reason of why my home sits right here on this hill. It actually goes way back in history. 150 years ago, the very first Moros who came to settle this land also built their home right here on this hill. And what was neat is there was an old wagon trail road that went right along through here. It came right across this property and went right up towards my mom and dad's house there in the distance. You can actually still see a part of that wagon trail road. It's hard to see with the naked eye, but I can still see the indentation that goes right up through here. And this is a very important part of this scary story. Now, guys, from the naked eye, I can see it pretty easily. I don't know how well you can see it, though, through the phone. But that road, I'm kind of using my fingers to outline the trail of that road, and it come right across through here, went right up over there where the old Morrow house was at, okay? Now listen, this is the kind of the scary part of the story. Okay, so one day this wagon comes along this trail and stops there in front of the old Morrow house. A guy gets off and goes, knocks on the door, and he says, "Sir, my family's traveling." I'm not sure from where or where they were traveling to. But he says, "Sir, my family's traveling and one of my little girls has gotten sick." He had 2 daughters. He says, "Would it be okay if we pitch camp around here somewhere for a couple of days and let the girls rest up?" Grandpa Morrow, being very neighborly, said, "Yeah, that's not a problem." He kind of pointed him off in a direction where they could set up a little camp, and they did so. Problem is, a couple of days later, they had a same knock on the door, and the guy informed them that the little girl had passed away. Now, guys, back in those days, there were not a lot of people around here. And so, what you did in those days was you had your own little private funeral, and you would bury those, you would bury people. And they buried that little girl right here on this hill. At some point, the family traveled on, and they made their way off. Now, that's not the scary part of the story. So you're saying, "Lester, what's the scary part of that story?" I don't see anything scary about that. That's how it was in the old days. Old timers, they had a different set, traveling and whatnot. People got sick, people died. There weren't doctors, and there weren't emergency rooms. Let me show you the scary part of the story. I'm getting there, I promise. I'm walking up on this little hill spot over here this is where my dad and mom live over here now. You know this. But I want to show you something. I know you have a really fine eye. You're noticing everything around. You're seeing my side-by-side sitting there. You're seeing my dad's little workshop. That's his little big room. Yeah, there's a little bit of a wind blowing. You see the limbs blowing around, but do you not notice anything very, very unusual? That's Lex and Connor's little playroom, their little clubhouse my dad built them. You know what? I don't know how to even say this. I don't believe in ghosts. I guess I would be more of a guy that believes in science. But let me ask you a question. That swing, it never stops swinging. Never. There's nobody up in that tree who's making that thing spin around. You can see up in that tree, there's no one up there. Yes, it's a windy day. It's fairly windy. But that swing never stops swinging. There goes Dad and Heidi.
Hey, bud.
You know what I'm probably talking about here, don't you?
Swings.
Tell me about the location where that little girl's buried. This is a story my dad's told us for years.
Where I guess that pavilion is somewhere in that area right there.
So right over in that area over there is where they buried that little girl.
That little shed, that little building or whatever.
Now, I don't believe in ghosts, y'all. I'm going to say it right now. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't think my dad believes in ghosts. Or do you? I don't know. We never talked about ghosts.
I don't know.
But
If I'm scared, I might.
But there is a reason, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if I believe in science either, but I know that. But I believe what I see, and no matter if it's windy or if it's still, that swing right there never stops moving. Am I lying?
It always moves.
That swing has never stopped moving, ever.
No matter what.
Now today's not a real windy day. I mean, you can see we got a little breeze. You can probably hear it.
The other one beside us don't swing.
Yeah, you can probably hear the little breeze through the phone here. But that swing, my friends, it never stops moving.
I don't swing out here at night.
Dad built that for the kids who play here, but it's just kind of bizarre that one swing, that side right there, never stops moving. There's no one in that tree moving it around. It just never stops. All right, there you have it. A real life ghost story, even though I don't really believe in ghosts. But something's making that swing move. It's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, that thing moves day and night. If you ever go back or if you ever see any other videos, Pawpaw's videos or LE stuff, Jamie stuff, and you happen to see us in that area, just go ahead and pause your camera, zoom in a little bit, and see if that swing's not just going crazy. It's the weirdest thing ever. Spooky.